Hello. So, as it says in the title, we're going to talk about depression today. For anyone that is unable to comment, or if you're watching this replay back and want to be able to comment in the future, be sure to hit the link in my bio. It takes you to officialbreeolson.com, where you can get a follow. Oh, actually, I forgot to change the price for this month. I had set it as a special for $17.38. That price is currently still available. Doing this just reminded me that I have to change that price. So go ahead and get that. You did. You saw a Tumblr post. Dang, you're on it. You're on it. I didn't even realize anyone looked at my Tumblr. Here I thought I was being all undercover with my Tumblr posts. Thanks. Illy. You were looking at it when you got the notification? Who is this? Let me look at you. Laura. Aw, thanks, Laura. Oh, you have cats too. I love that. Hi, Deborah. So I actually wrote these a few days ago, and I haven't done a scope on it yet. I was planning on doing a scope. Thank you for hearting it up. I was going about my day. Thank you. I started, my day out. I was doing, hello hair. I was doing so well. I, woke up, had my coffee, ate, talked to a few friends on the phone. I did my makeup. I was getting ready to go cam, and then boom. I all of a sudden was so sad. I got in bed and I just covered up. I had made my bed already this morning. And that's just depression. It's just depression. And at first, I started the negative self-talk, like, what's wrong with you? There's nothing going on. Why are you being like this? You need to suck it up. You need to just get up. You need to continue with your day. This is not acceptable. And I just remembered that being depressed is just like any other sickness. Like if I, had some physical ailment and was unable to get out of bed today, like, if like my leg started hurting, for example, and I had to sit down and not be on my leg for the rest of the day, I wouldn't be so hard on myself. But what inspired me to get up? I'm not up. I'm in bed. But, so I have to remember that it's the same with depression. Like, I can't be so hard on myself just because I'm having a bad day or a bad couple hours. I have to allow it to happen. I mean, there's steps that we can take each day, and we have to do our best to take those steps. But if there's a day or a time moment where we're unable to do it, we just have to let it go and let it be. So I wrote down a few things to talk about with you guys that I thought were pretty good, of things that I've been doing. So we beat ourselves up or hide it from the people that we love because we're ashamed of it. And that can actually hurt us more, by not talking with people. There's been days recently, especially like if you go and get help, like I did, you go and get help and then people expect you to be all better, and you don't want them to worry about you if you're having a bad day or week or whatever. And so then you'll isolate and not tell anyone because you don't want them to worry about you. But then you aren't getting any help then. Then you don't have your support system to help you feel better. So, there was a few days where I didn't talk to anyone. I wouldn't text anyone. I think this was just last week. I wouldn't text anyone or call anyone because I didn't want them worrying about me. But it made them worry about me. Like, people are smart. If you just don't text them, of course they're gonna worry. So you have to just do that. Anyways, yes, of course, therapy. That one, yeah, given for sure. Thanks, Anthony. Yeah, you're not a burden. Exactly. You have to remember that. That is when you know to poke me. You guys are good about that. We have to know there will be days off, yeah. And all we can do is try better tomorrow. That's also an important thing to remember, is just to be able to, say to yourself, okay, well, this happened today, but we can do better tomorrow. And again, not compare ourselves to other people, especially with the way social media is now. It's so easy to get on Instagram or Facebook, which I consider the devil, aka the devil, to get on Facebook and say, well, they're at the lake, they're out with a whole bunch of friends, they're going to dinners, they're doing this, they're doing that. You can't compare yourself to that person. That's either a completely healthy person mentally that isn't dealing with the illness that you are, or they are and they're just having a good day or a good week, and they're just able to highlight that because it's social media, and you can't see their whole lives of when they're having a bad day or a bad week. So you just can't compare yourself to that. Another thing is the domino effect. How you start your morning will affect your whole day. So if I start my morning drinking too much coffee, skipping breakfast, getting on my phone right away and sitting like this for an hour, comparing myself to Facebook, not, starting my day off the right way, getting in the shower right away, it's really like, I'm trying to think of a sport or something where you start off really fast in the morning and it helps you slide the rest of your way through the day. I'm trying to think of what is something of that? Curling. Oh my God, curling. I never thought finally that sport is worth something. That sport finally became useful one time. I'm so happy. God bless America, or Canada, I should say. Curling, when you start going fast in the morning, if you get up and really start your day, that'll help keep momentum for the rest of the day. Yeah, curling goals. So and like I said, it's a domino effect, and that can really affect everything. The phone doesn't replace people or leaving the house. So put the phone down and see how long you last. This is something that I have really struggled with. Even though I know better, I have learned so much. I've had so many times in my life where I put that phone down and it helped me get so healthy in my mind. And there's just something about it. It's addicting. Like, obviously, otherwise they wouldn't be so popular. It's a very addicting thing, but it can be absolutely terrible for depressed people, because even healthy people will replace the phone with an actual person. And there's nothing more important, I don't think. Yeah, I'm right. There's nothing more important for a depressed person than to have physical bonded connections with friends, family, whomever, to be there in person with someone. There is nothing like having someone in person. It's great to have friends on social media. It's great to meet people off social media. I'm not denying any of that. I'm the first person to say all the great things about social media, but there's nothing like an in-person connection with someone. Another thing is, don't be self-involved. Think of other people, help other people. The world isn't you. A great example of that is when I was going through the bullying really heavily and stuff on social media. It's so easy to get wrapped up in me. Oh my God, why is this happening to me? Look at all the stuff people are saying about me. But it's so refreshing to look and see all the other people that are going through it too. There's celebrities out there that have 10 million followers that are slamming the fuck out of them, and they deleted accounts with all these followers. They're going through it too. There's so many people are going through it. So if you just reach out and listen and observe other people and not be self-centered, you'll see so many people are going through a lot of the same things that you are. Not only that, it could be people that aren't going through the same things as you. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this. Listening to your friends and what they're going through helps pull focus away from you and listen to them, and then you also get an opportunity to help those friends out and be there for them, and take time away from yourself, because the world just isn't you. So that's something that always has really helped me a lot. Antidepressants only go so far. You have to do the work, exercise for 15 minutes a day. There's nothing like that natural high. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like getting on that elliptical that I have for 15 minutes a day. Before I had the elliptical and the treadmill, doing jumping jacks, just as many as I could. I remember at one point I had started with 5, and by the end of doing jumping jacks, I was doing 200. Can't do them anymore because I stopped doing them. I would be back down to 5 again. But whatever you can do, just whatever you have around you in your house to utilize, or whatever your favorite physical exercises yourself, and not just like a muscle building one. Make sure you do one where you're getting your heart rate up, because getting that heart rate up, there's just nothing like it. There's nothing that's going to give you that high in your mind, that natural, what's the word I'm looking for? The happy stuff, the serotonin, or no, that's the sleep one. Endorphins, thank you. There's nothing that's going to give you those endorphins like getting that exercise in. There really is. There's nothing like it. No, you don't want serotonin in the middle of the day, right? But you have to do the work yourself. When I get out of bed and I've had, like today, for example, I did drink too much coffee today. I did skip breakfast. I didn't get in the shower right away. I spent probably my first 5 hours of my day glued to my phone screen. And now I'm in bed wondering why I feel depressed. It's no wonder why I feel depressed. I didn't put in the necessary work this morning to feel better for the rest of the day. Again, it goes into curling. You have to have that momentum to slide you into the rest of the day. You have to watch what you put into your body. And yes, food will weigh you down. Don't self-medicate by stuffing yourself. This is also how much coffee. I drank a pot of coffee. Not only will food weigh you down, but we learn to self-medicate. So whatever it is for you, many of us do this, whether it's drinking coffee to feel up, because you don't have the energy. We are not even doing it consciously. We're not trying to hurt ourselves. We're trying to make ourselves feel better. It could be a sleep for you. It could be food for people. So for me, I don't have my anxiety medication anymore. So what I have done is, because I don't have something to bring my anxiety down, something that naturally brings my anxiety down is food. I will overstuff myself to bring my energy level down, because naturally bringing my energy down brings my anxiety down. But then what happens when I don't have any energy? I'm in bed. Then I'm stuck in bed. So you have to be careful with how you're self-medicating, be it alcohol, the medication, or, bad medication that you take, or what have you, sleep and all of that. Don't depend on your significant other to talk to for everything. You need at least one friend to load off on. Imagine if your partner only depended on you the way you depend on them, and how heavy of a burden that would be on you. That's a really important one, because we need our support system to stay strong. Of course, we love our partner. We and they will be there for us for so many things, but we have to make sure that them being there for it, we have to keep that relationship strong. So in order to keep it strong, we need to have at least one other friend that we can talk often with and heavily with. Of course, a good therapist, of course, is always a great one. But also a friend, just a friend, because going to your partner all the time, they're going to be like, I need a break. Like, I feel like I'm that person's therapist. I feel like I have to be their number one rock and support. And I mean, they're number one, but you definitely need a friend that you can talk to. That way your partner can get a break. Your partner, everyone needs a break. And the best way I can think to say it is, like I said, imagine if it were you, if the shoe was on the other foot. How would you feel if that weighed so heavily on you that your partner looked at you and depended on you for everything? That could be super stressful. I don't think I would last long if if partners had depended on me the way I had depended on them at one point in time. Yeah, Cheryl, I need a few new good friends too. Haven't lived here in Indiana for the last 5 years. I think I'll do a scope about that, about how to acquire and start new friendships and maintain those new friendships and all of that. Another great thing that I do, this is a really great piece of advice that I've actually become really good at, is get into robot mode to get things done. You can say in your mind how much you hate it all you want, but you have to allow your body to get up, shower, clean the house, get in the car. So I will put myself, let's say that there's a few pans out on the stove. We can all relate to this one. Few pans out on the stove, some dirty dishes on the counter or in the sink, some crumbs on the kitchen counter and stuff, and you just keep walking past it. You're like, fuck that. I'm not doing that today. Kara pretends she's a robot. So then you come in your bedroom and you're like, I don't want to do it. But that's all you're thinking about. It's weighing on your mind. So finally what I'll do is I'll just tell myself, I'm like, shut down, Rachel, go into robot mode and just get your ass in there and get it done. And at first I'll be like, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. This is okay. This isn't that bad. Why didn't I do this sooner? Okay, I'm actually glad I'm up. I'm glad I'm not looking on my phone. Okay, I'll turn on some music. And then before I know it, I'm making a meal in there too, in my nice clean kitchen. So that's a good thing to do, robot mode to get into the shower, because I'm like, I'm only going to take a shower. Don't want to get in the shower. I'm just going to rinse off, quick scrub, whatever. And before I know it, I'm shaving my legs. Now I'm like, well, I have my legs shaved. May as well shave my armpits. Okay, I have my armpits shaved. May as well do a little vajayjay. And before I knew it, I shaved a heart. No, I'm kidding. Okay. Next one. I don't have the skills to shave a heart. I don't. I really admire people that can do that. You have to have positive self-talk. Talk to yourself. If you catch yourself saying you're ugly, tell yourself you're attractive 10 times out loud to yourself. If you catch yourself saying you aren't going to leave the house, tell yourself 10 times that you will. So what's something that I said to myself today? I said to myself that I am not as successful as some of the other porn stars that have been in the industry, or I'm not as smart as some of the other porn stars that have been in the industry with my money, maybe with opportunities that I had, or what have you. And I need to correct myself and say, I am smart and I'm going to be a great author. I am smart and I'm going to be a great author. I am smart and I'm going to be a great author. And you say that to yourself at least 7 more times. That moment. And then the rest of the day, you tell yourself that the rest of the day. Because the more that you connect those together, the more you're going to start believing those positive feelings and replacing the negative ones with the positive ones. Thank you, Anthony. And then I have just 2 more here, and then we'll just have a little chat. Think of yourself as your 15-year-old self to take care of you. Cook for your 15-year-old self. Shower for your 10-year-old self. Take your 5-year-old self outside. That was one of the most powerful things that I learned at the Meadows, was to care for, if you can't take care of your 29-year-old self, imagine, because you are that little girl or that little boy, and you have to take care of them. They need you. They need to eat. They need to go outside. They need a shower. Okay, you don't know how to cook. Well, they need that TV dinner then. Whatever it is they need. Or maybe they need to learn how to cook. You have to teach them how to cook. It's a very powerful thing. And I think of that often when there's certain things that I don't want to do. And then I'm like, you know what? I have to do this for myself. I would not let a 5-year-old go hungry. Never. It's unacceptable, right? So if we wouldn't let someone else go hungry, why would we let ourselves? This is the last one. Set a light schedule, even if it's just around the house. Depressed people need a schedule. It sets our clock and helps us to get into things to do, things to look forward to and feel accomplished. So like Hour 1, I may tell myself, okay, within the first hour, thank you, within the first hour that I'm up, I am going to take a shower and take a shower and blow dry my hair in the first hour that I'm up. In the second hour that I'm up, and I have to maybe even set times for myself. So, by 10 a.m. each morning, I will have showered, or whatever. By 1 p.m., I will have left the house and went to the post office or checked the mail. It doesn't even have to be leaving the house. It could just be things around the house. By noon each day, I will have the cat litter scooped. Things like that. Just a very light schedule. And start it the way you would start getting on medication. So like, how if you ever start an antidepressant and the doctor says, okay, for the first week, you're only going to take half of this. And then by week 2, you're going to take a full one. And then by week 3, you're going to be taking 2 of these. I don't know. Maybe you guys aren't experienced with this, but I'm just trying to give a physical, tangible example. So you would do the same thing with a schedule. So you would add things each week. Do that for a full week to get used to it, get your body accustomed to it, your psyche accustomed to it. And then week 2, you add one more thing. Don't do too much because you have to get accustomed to it. You are Holly. Wow. Okay, so that's everything for my list that I had made for you guys. For those of you just joining, if you can't comment, be sure to follow the link in my bio and get your follow for life. It's $17.38 for a follow for life. You're so welcome. Thanks, Myra. So that's me. I may seem like I'm doing okay right now, this very second, but, as soon as I get off here, I'll probably lay back down in bed again. And it just came all of a sudden. It just came suddenly. Yeah, I'll leave it up, Allison. It's crazy how much depression can affect people and how immediate it could be, too. You could be having a great day and all of a sudden, snap. Yeah, go walk. Yeah, easier said than done. I need to go get on the elliptical for 15 minutes today. Thank you, Kara. I need to do that too. Like I said, I think what happened with me today, sometimes it happens even if you do your steps, but I can tell you what happened today was I didn't go into the curling morning like I should have. I spent about 5 hours with my face in my phone this morning, and I know how bad for me that is. I had too much coffee, probably too many cigarettes too. I was also starting the morning with drinking 2 glasses of water because I usually start my day pretty dehydrated. So that's usually something that makes me feel better, and I didn't do that, and I didn't eat this morning. Oh, wow, Wolfman. Oh, no, Holly. I know, Tuya. Hi, Doug. I know, Yuko. Yes, Kara. I do. I miss Peter, but Peter doesn't have anything to do with it. I think that's another thing for us to remember is that it's easy when you have depression to fixate on things that are naturally sad in your life. Like, oh, the guy I'm dating is 3,000 miles away, or people are still accusing me of being HIV positive from that absolute fucking maniac asshole that I dated, or I may still have some bullies on the internet, or, I'm, webcamming almost every day, and, whatever. I haven't been able to start writing my book yet. It's very easy to get upset about real things that you may be sad about in your life, but it's important to remember that that is not your depression. Your depression isn't dependent on those things. Your depression is something going on chemically inside of you. And even if those things were fixed, because I have, peaks and valleys, even when those things are fixed, I could still be very sad. Peter could move here tomorrow, and that wouldn't fix my sadness. The whole Charlie thing could all of a sudden, poof, disappear. My underlying depression would still be here. So it's important to remember that and to take the proper measures, because the reason it's important to remember that is because then you won't get stuck in a really scary mindset that, oh, well, if only the reason that I'm so laying in bed is because Peter's not here. That's not the truth. The reason I'm laying in bed is because I didn't take care of myself this morning the way I needed to feel better. That's why I'm in bed, is because I have depression naturally. So I have to take care of myself as a depressed person to make sure that doesn't happen. So that's why it can be dangerous to get into mindsets of blaming outside things when we need to look within and deal with what's going on with us in here. What did Liz say? I missed it. The piano? Is that what she said? Sorry, I was in the middle of like a real good thing going. I had a good thing going on there for a second. It is, yes. I said that earlier. Thank you, Richard. It's important to not beat yourself up, absolutely, and just try better tomorrow. Not to compare yourself to anything, and just to try better tomorrow. And, you know, I'm paying for it now today, and now tomorrow will be better. Try writing yourself encouraging letters when you're high notes. Read letters when you're down. Liz, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. I like that, Liz. Yo, wicked smart. Affirmations always help. Yep, absolutely. That's a good idea. Because it's easy to think the world is shit when we're down. But, you know, being through what I've went through, you know, if I was having a day off like today, I think that last piece of advice is probably the best one I gave. When I was having a day where I was off like today, I would have easily blamed all of those outside things on why I was in bed. But now I know better. And now I know how to make myself feel better. Suggestions on finding a therapist you like. The important thing, you will never really know until you're there with them. But I feel like this is a problem that a lot of people don't. You just deal with a therapist. Like, you go to one and then you're like, well, I already started seeing them now. And then, you know, you don't stop going until like 20 sessions in, and then you don't go find a new one because you're like, that was such a waste of time. But the important thing is that you can leave a therapist after one session. You don't ever have to go back. And if you want to go back to just try to make sure, go to a second one, maybe even a third, but never go a fourth time. If you're not in love with what you guys are doing in that room, do not go back. Find a new one. Stop going and find a new one. Yes, it's time consuming, but it's more time. It'll be more time consuming if like I said, you go for 20 and then just give up and not go anymore. Wolfman, you just have to be more strict. You really do. You just have to, you know, limit him. And try to make them tastier, I guess. Like, you really have to have an eye-to-eye with him and ask him, you know, what will you eat? That's something that I saw. This is a really cool thing that I saw when it comes to kids. It actually works on adults too. So if you ever want to try this, where you give someone two options, you don't say, are you going to eat your vegetables or not? What you say is, okay. And the more options you give them, the more likely they are to choose one of them. So, you know, for you ladies out there, you can always say to a guy, okay, do you want to take me to the movies tonight? Do you want to take me to this nice restaurant tonight? Do you want to take me shopping tonight? And they're going to pick one of them, you know? But so anyways, so you can do that with kids. You can say to a kid, okay, so I understand, I get it. You don't want to eat vegetables, and that's okay. That's, you know, so I have come to terms with you. You won. So tonight, I'm going to give you an option. I'm going to give you a few options, actually. You can have broccoli, asparagus, corn, beets or eggplant. You know, so you get to choose. And you put it like that, and you keep a straight face. Keep the straight face and just look at them and don't say anything after that. This is like negotiating tactics. Don't say anything after you say that. And just wait quietly. Don't break it. Don't break the silence. Don't let it be you. Because whoever talks first after you give those options wins. So if you talk after you give those options, your kid wins. My son. Oh, I thought that's, that's what I was talking about with you. So you give him those 5 options and then see what he says. He'll pick one. Try it. Try it. Let me know. Let me know how it went. I'm so curious now. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm so sorry for anyone offended out there that I'm giving like a parenting tip, and I'm totally not a parent. But I feel like that's not really like a parenting tip though. I feel like that's just like a human tip, like just from like sales, just from me working in sales. Thank you. Okay, Allison, I'll see you. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Dear. That's true. That's true. Everyone likes a choice. I know. I want to know now. I want to know now so bad. Okay, well, this was really fun. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get off of here because now we're getting off topic. So I'll maybe come back and scope later because this is making me feel better. So I'll see you guys. I hope this helps someone. If you're just now tuning in, go back, watch the replay. This is a pretty good scope. All right, I'll see you guys. Bye.